Hey everybody, this is John Rice, aka the LEXpert. I'm doing a neighborhood video tour for you today, and I'm in a neighborhood called Beaumont. I'm going to turn around here, show you a little bit. I'm not in the convertible today because it's, you can see right there, 56 degrees, which is a little cold for me, especially in shorts. Beaumont is actually a bunch of different little neighborhoods that everybody just kind of groups together and calls it Beaumont. There's a commercial part of Beaumont out on the front, and I'm right near Harrodsburg Road and New Circle Road. A lot to like about this neighborhood. I've sold a lot of houses out here. I've been in a ton of houses. I keep in contact with my clients, and I think one of the things they really like is that they can get to the good shopping on Nicholasville Road. They can go in the back way even through Wellington and get to like Fayette Mall. Easy access to New Circle, and then also some of the, you've got some strip shopping centers here. You've got a Kroger with a Starbucks, some restaurants. I'm coming up on the YMCA. This is probably the nicest YMCA we have in all of Lexington right there, and it's right here smack dab in the middle of Beaumont. There's a post office over here, a little bit of everything, banks, restaurants, gas station, hotels. Now I think I'll probably start hitting on a little bit of the residential. You see some townhouses there. They are building some new townhouses right in here. I'm just pulling into the Meadows, Beaumont Meadows. Like I said, people just pretty much call all of this area Beaumont. So the little name out there doesn't do too much. Been in that house right there that's for sale. I think that one's $399. Finished basement. This section in here is probably, 10, 15 years old. Most of them out here in this part seem to be in the, I think the cheapest one I've ever seen was $330 on a crawl space. An outdated house, $330 on a crawl. And then of course I sold one of the nicest ones out here for $575, but it had an 1.5 acre lot, which is kind of rare. I'd say most of these in here are hovering around the $375 to $475 range. While I'm here, I thought I'd pull over. Notice that walking path right there. If you look at an aerial view of this neighborhood, there is a walking trail that pretty much makes a giant circle around it. Real nice asset to have, and it connects to 2 city parks as well. Alright, it's kind of windy out here, so I'm hoping the audio goes through here, but I'm in one of the city parks in Beaumont. You can see through that fence right over there is the walking trail that kind of goes around the perimeter of the neighborhood. There is some really nice houses over there. Kind of just panning around the park here. And that building you see up there is the Rosa Parks Elementary School, which is one of the top-rated elementary schools in town and very sought after. And the more affordable little section, I think this is called Beaumont Enclave. For some reason the name's slipping me, but this little section I believe is called Beaumont Enclave. And most of the houses in here are like $190 to about $235. I sold one in here. Kind of nice to be in this high-end neighborhood, this area, without having the high-end price. There is Rosa Parks Elementary again. And it's right here in the middle of the neighborhood. While I'm here, I guess I better talk about the school district. One of the things that makes this side of town so desirable is the combination of school districts. You've got Rosa Parks right here in the neighborhood. You've got Beaumont Middle School, which is pretty good, just on the other side of New Circle Road. And then you've got Dunbar High School, which is also very desirable. And if I were to just go out this road for about another 1.5 minutes and turn left on Man of War, boom, I'm right there in Dunbar. So that really, really convenient. I'm going to go in the crossing section of Beaumont, Beaumont Crossing. I've been in several out here, and I've sold one out here. Kind of hard to get in this neighborhood for under $500. I think probably up around $600 is some of the nicer ones out here. Most of the ones I've been in, you know, 3,000, 3,200 square feet, finished basement. Like this one up here, I think they're asking $539 for. Been in that one, very nice. The ones on this side of the street, this is Hemingway, by the way. The ones on this side of the street, back to that walking trail. And if you were to go left behind these houses, it dead ends in a city park that's actually in a neighborhood called Harrods Hill. But still, you know, a lot of people use it. Getting ready to go across into Beaumont Reserve. That's a really nice section over here. Prices can be as low as, you know, $400 for a bad one or a foreclosed one or one that needs some updating, all the way up. I think there's one back in there that's $1.1 million right now. But most of them seem to be in that same, you know, $450 to $600 range. Still in the reserve section. I've shown several back here, and I've sold one of them in the past year in Beaumont Reserve. This section's probably, you know, about 12 years old, 9 to 12 years old. Nice houses out here, and the ones that I'm coming up on, these back to that park that I videotaped earlier. Okie doke, we got one going up right there. I'm still in Beaumont Reserve, but I am in kind of the Mac Daddy section of Beaumont Reserve. And in fact, I missed my street. There's the house I'm looking for. A lot of these over here seem to be much bigger, and you get some really super duper ones. This is the one I always like to drive people by. You could probably see it right there. It's got kind of the Gothic looking doors. Super nice house. I'll circle around this cul-de-sac just for a little eye candy for you. I'd say all these are probably at least 5,000 square feet, more. Obviously, a lot of these look newer, so I'm sure they're very current in their finishes. And this section back here, I guess you could kind of call it the reserve, where they're a lot bigger and fancier. I think you're going to have a hard time getting a nice one out here for under $600. This might be more, the bulk of them might be more like $600 to $800. I know there have been a couple of ones that have gone for just over $1 million, but there's not, you know, that many of those. I'm coming into the last two parts of Beaumont. Back in here, some of the original, more older parts. There is this one neighborhood called the Sanctuary. I'll just take a quick spin up here, but you could tell these are really new, and they're really large. And I think the cheapest one I've seen out here was like $600 or $699. I think there's a couple of these that might even be like $1 million. The only thing I don't like is, you know, Man of War Boulevard is right back there. And in fact, you could see those signs. That's where Dunbar High School is. Give you an idea how close. All right, as I wrap this up, this section is just, I guess, the original Beaumont Farms, that you could call it. You could probably get a 2,700 square foot house on a crawl space out here as low as $280. You can't really get a basement under $300 out here. A lot of these might be up to about $350, $375. So this is kind of the affordable section.